So, how long have you been telling people you're stuck? It's a convenient word, isn't it? It sounds like a natural disaster or an act of God, something that just happened to you while you were minding your own business. But let's be honest, are you actually stuck, or are you just parked? Let me ask you, if a door is unlocked and you refuse to turn the handle because you're afraid of what's on the other side, is that powerlessness? Or is that just a very loud, very expensive choice you're making every single morning? Oh, wait. Is it because you don't have any options? That's adorable. You have plenty of options, you just don't like the price tag on any of them. You're waiting for a version of freedom that doesn't require courage, and since that doesn't exist, you've decided you're a prisoner. You think your helplessness is a shield, but to the rest of the world, it's just an exit strategy from your own life. You've traded your agency for the right to complain, and now you're surprised the bill is coming due. Stop lying to yourself. You aren't a victim of circumstance. You're an architect of your own stagnation. Let's talk about the secondary gain of being helpless. It's a cozy little spot, isn't it? As long as you're powerless, nobody can expect anything from you. You don't have to take risks, you don't have to fail, and you certainly don't have to be the one held accountable when things go sideways. You've built a career out of being the person things happen to. Let me ask you, how much of your daily conversation is just a rolling tally of all the people who are currently ruining your life? Your boss, your partner, the economy, your upbringing, it's a crowded stage, but somehow you're the only one in the audience with no lines. Oh, wait. Is it because you're a people pleaser? Wake up. You aren't pleasing people, you're just terrified of the fallout that comes with having an opinion. You've traded your spine for a quiet house, and now you're complaining that you can't stand up straight. You think your submission is a sacrifice, but to everyone else, it's just a way to avoid the heavy lifting of a real relationship. You've taught everyone around you that you're a non-factor, and now you're offended that they've started believing you? Think about the safety you think you've bought. It's a cage, but at least it's padded, right? You don't have to make the hard calls if you've convinced yourself you don't have the phone. You've become a professional at pointing fingers so you never have to look at your own hands. You didn't give up your power because someone stole it, you gave it up because power is heavy. Power means if the ship sinks, it's on you. And you'd much rather drown while blaming the captain than take the wheel and risk hitting an iceberg yourself. But I'm just waiting for the right opportunity, you say. Right. And you'll keep waiting until you're 80, because an opportunity that doesn't require you to be responsible for the outcome doesn't exist. You're staying in this mess because the mess is predictable. You know exactly how much it hurts to stay, but you're terrified of how much it might cost to be free. Stop lying to yourself. You aren't stuck in a cage. You're just the one holding the key, refusing to look at it because then you'd have no one left to blame but the person in the mirror. Let's audit the currency you're using to pay for your self-delusion. Every time you open your mouth to explain why you can't do something, you aren't just stating a fact, you're making a payment. You're trading your potential for a moment of temporary relief from the pressure of being alive. Let me ask you, how much is that excuse worth to you today? Is it worth the job you hate? Is it worth the relationship that's effectively a slow-motion car crash? Or is it worth the person you used to be before you decided that, "It's just not the right time," was a valid life philosophy. Oh, wait. Is it because everything is so complicated? That's a classic. Life isn't complicated, your desire to avoid the consequences of your choices is what's complicated. You've created a labyrinth of what-ifs and if-onlys, so you can stay busy wandering around in circles instead of just walking toward the exit. You think you're being cautious, but you're actually just being a coward with a thesaurus. You've rebranded your fear as due diligence and your paralysis as patience. Think about the people you admire. Do you think they reached a point where all their problems vanished and the path was cleared by a team of angels? No. They just stopped lying to themselves about why they were standing still. They realized that an excuse is just a lie you tell yourself to make the mediocrity taste better. But look at you, you've been eating that lie for so long you've forgotten what real agency even feels like. But I have responsibilities, you say. Fascinating. You have the responsibility to pay your bills, to show up for your kids, and to feed your dog, but apparently, you have zero responsibility to the person living inside your own skin. You've decided that everyone else's needs are a mandatory contract, but your own fulfillment is just an optional footnote. You're using your responsibilities as a human shield to protect you from the terrifying reality that you are the only one who can save you. Let's look at the math again. If you spend 10 years explaining why you can't leave a situation, at the end of those 10 years, you don't get a refund. You just get 10 more years of being exactly who you are right now, only older and more bitter. You taught yourself that your words don't have weight. You taught yourself that your plans are just fiction. And the worst part? You're starting to believe your own script. You've repeated the lie that you're a victim of bad luck so many times that you actually think the universe is conspiring against you. It isn't. The universe doesn't care enough to conspire against you. It's just waiting for you to stop complaining and start moving. You're checking the receipt, and the price of your excuses isn't just time, it's your soul. You're trading your entire future for the comfort of a lie that isn't even convincing anymore. Well, let's talk about your favorite word, fine. It's the ultimate sedative, isn't it? When someone asks how you are, or when you look at your bank account, or your reflection, you just shrug and say it's fine. You've turned mediocrity into a personality trait because fine doesn't require you to do anything. Fine is the anesthesia you inject into your own life so you don't have to feel the sting of how much you're actually wasting. Let me ask you, is it actually fine, or have you just lowered your standards so much that, not currently on fire, feels like a win? Oh, wait. Is it because you're content with the simple things? That's adorable. There is a massive difference between being content and being comatose. You aren't being humble, you're being lazy. You've decided that since you can't have everything exactly the way you want it immediately, you'll just settle for the scraps and call it peace of mind. You're addicted to the comfort of your own disappointment. You think that by expecting nothing, you're protecting yourself from hurt, but all you're doing is ensuring that nothing ever changes. Think about the energy you spend maintaining this fine existence. It takes a lot of work to stay this stagnant. You have to actively ignore your intuition, you have to silence your ambitions, and you have to constantly lie to the people who actually care about you. You've become a master at managing your own decline. You think your stability is a virtue, but it's actually just a lack of momentum. You've taught yourself that safe is better than significant, and now you're wondering why your life feels like a repetitive loop of a movie you didn't even want to watch. But I'm not unhappy, you say. Right. But are you alive? There's a whole spectrum of human experience between misery and thriving, and you've decided to set up camp in the grayest, most boring part of it. You're avoiding the responsibility of your own potential because fulfilling it would mean you have to stop being fine and start being remarkable. And that's terrifying, isn't it? Stop lying to yourself. Fine is just the waiting room for regret. You're checking the receipt, and you're realizing that the price of being fine is the life you were actually meant to live. Let's talk about the person you're waiting for. You know, the one, the boss who finally recognizes your genius, the partner who suddenly heals your trauma, or the big break that drops out of the sky and fixes your bank account. You've spent years scanning the horizon for a rescue ship that hasn't even been built yet. Let me ask you, if you're the one who walked yourself into this forest, why are you waiting for a stranger to carry you out? Oh, wait. Is it because you need a mentor or need a sign? That's fascinating. You've turned your life into a waiting room for a specialist who isn't coming. You think that by staying small and patient, someone will eventually notice your suffering and reward you for it. But let's look at the reality. The world doesn't reward people for waiting, it rewards people for moving. You've outsourced your salvation to a ghost, and now you're offended that your life is still haunted by the same problems. Think about the mercy you're expecting. You think if you just suffer long enough, the universe will owe you a win. But the universe doesn't keep a tab. You've taught yourself that being a victim is a job description, and you're waiting for a promotion that doesn't exist. You aren't being humble by waiting for help, you're being irresponsible with the only life you've been given. You've handed the remote control of your happiness to a person who doesn't even know they're holding it. But I can't do it alone, you say. Right. And that's the most dangerous lie you've ever told yourself. You've survived every impossible day of your life so far, haven't you? You have the evidence of your own strength sitting right there in your history, but you'd rather ignore it because acknowledging your strength means acknowledging your duty to use it. You're waiting for a savior because a savior is an exit ramp from your own accountability. Stop lying to yourself. There is no one coming to save you, and that is the best news you've heard all year. Because if no one is coming to save you, then no one can stop you. You're checking the receipt, and you're realizing that savior you've been waiting for has been standing in your shoes this entire time. Are you finally going to let them lead? So, here is the final audit. You've spent years building a case for why you're a bystander in your own life. You've gathered the evidence, polished the excuses, and waited for a verdict that was never going to come from anyone but you. Let me ask you, are you tired of carrying the weight of a victim narrative that doesn't even fit you anymore? Oh, wait. You're waiting for the fear to disappear before you take the first step. That's the ultimate delusion. Fear doesn't leave, it just gets quieter when you start moving. You don't need to feel ready to be responsible for your future. You just need to stop pretending that staying still is anything other than a choice. The balance is clear. You have the power, you have the key, and you have the clock ticking. Stop auditing your past and start investing in your agency. If you decide to.